What's up, guys? So wanted to take a little video kind of explaining how this year went, what is next, and how I'm going to go about preparing for whatever is next. So to talk about this year, obviously it was a challenging year for a lot of people. I didn't compete last year due to some health issues first, and then due to just some life issues. Got married, honeymoon, bachelor trip, and then just timing of the year, and then setting myself up for a successful season this year as well. So didn't compete last year at all, and so this year, had I competed last year, I might have taken the year off and figured out a different plan than what I actually did. But ultimately, I made it to the stage this year. Very excited about that, and was excited with the results. So, for those who don't know, I did the Rocket City Bodybuilding Classic. I won my class in classic physique as well as heavyweight bodybuilding, and then I took the overall in both of those as well. So I wasn't sure if I was going to make weight for Classic. Going into the beginning of the year, was prepping 100% for Classic. Probably would have done both just for the sake of having some extra stage time and some fun, but was within a very reasonable weight to make Classic weight. Conditioning was coming in, was getting ready for the Battle on the Bluff show in Tunica, and then everything shut down and gyms were closed and that sort of thing. So what I did was not necessarily the right thing, but given the circumstances, I don't necessarily regret it. I just basically took off the gas, enjoyed some food, drank, had some drinks and that sort of thing. Just kind of got through the phase that we were in. But in that, I put on, a significant amount of body fat. And so what happened was, once I was able to get access to a gym, I began trying to diet again, and my metabolism was, as slow as it would be at the end of, what was most of a prep. So I was trying to get rid of body fat that I had accumulated with, a metabolism that was in a place for the end of a prep. So it wasn't, my body wasn't responding the way I hoped to. Made some adjustments, actually did some growing, put on some muscle, put on some weight, and then eventually was able to get my body to start cooperating again. Not naturally, and so that makes it a lot tougher, especially for me, because of the way that I feel when I do incorporate things to improve metabolism. So that made it a lot tougher to prep this year as well, but that's a whole other YouTube video. So got back going, things started to open back up, was prepping for something, later in the year, depending on whatever ended up getting moved and all that. So decided on the Chicago Pro-Am, which Anna was, my wife, was doing the pro fitness portion of the show. So I decided I would do Classic and open at that one. And then I learned of the Rocket City Bodybuilding Classic, which was a week ahead of the other show. And so I was going to just do both. So entered peak week at 222, I believe. So had about 10 pounds to lose throughout the week. So managed to do that, made weight for Classic. And then, like I said, had some success at that show. Decided based on those results not to push it again to make weight or to peak again for the show the following weekend, and just to focus on coaching Anna and preparing for a national show in 5 weeks from that day. So that was the original plan. Went through the first week of dieting for that, continuing on dieting, and realized that I had hit a wall. It was not, my heart just wasn't in pushing any further, and ultimately I'd like to do open bodybuilding anyway. So decided to shut it down for the year and focus on a national show in open bodybuilding next year. So the plan is to do North Americans in what is about 45 weeks. And so now I'm going to talk a little bit about my plans moving forward, preparing for that. So I was originally going to just take 4 weeks off, give my body a break, go to the gym minimally, just kind of move some weight around a little bit, stay sharp, and try not to put on a lot of body fat. But what I've decided is to give the next 5 to 6 weeks a really good push to put on some size, and then give myself about a 4-week break. I think with the state that my metabolism's in post show, it's not going to be a good idea for me to sit around and not use the hunger that I have to at least put on some muscle. So that's the plan. So basically what I'm going to do is I've started working on a training split that actually involves a couple of 2-a-days with some of the body parts that aren't too crazy taxing on the nervous system. And then leg split will be what it was during prep. So I'll have a day where I hit hamstrings, a day where I hit quads, and then a day where I hit both. And then the other body parts I will mostly touch twice during the week. And then I will give myself a full rest day during the week in order to let my body recover and to keep from going, too crazy with the workouts. So that's the plan as far as training. As far as food, I'm going to ramp up the carbs to a pretty high number. Especially for what I've been taking in, obviously, as I was getting ready to suck down into a lower weight and a leaner physique. So the carb number, it's going to be based on the 2 workouts and the nutritional needs that I have surrounding those workouts, as well as recovering outside of the peri-workout nutrition window. So I haven't 100% decided what number I can handle yet as far as carbs, but it's probably going to be somewhere between 450 and 600, especially on those 2 training days, and then maybe a little closer to 400 on the days that I only train once. But that's an idea of kind of where I'm starting. The fat number, I'm going to bump that up to around 60 to 70. Probably closer to 70, maybe 75, and then give myself, a good bit of fat so that I, can help with digestion, help with satiety, as well as, energy throughout the day, of course, and the other, some of the other processes that fats help with, as far as brain function and that sort of thing. So I am going to basically create a meal plan for myself throughout the week. But I'm, of course, if I want to be a little more flexible with that, I will, but I will be incorporating, a lot of whole foods. Some of the nutrition around the workout will, consist of some sugary snacks, especially out of necessity sometimes. And then my protein number will probably be somewhere between 430 and 450, a little bit lower on those single day splits, probably closer to 400 on those single day splits, and then closer to the 450 range on the days that I train twice. Like I said, this push is only a few weeks to where I can really focus on growing, and then I'll back off of the food and the workouts and everything and everything else and give myself a break. Some of the supplements I'll be using, obviously Redcon 1. If you want to buy some Redcon 1 stuff, go to their site and use our code T20CHISM, 20% off. If they have another deal that's better than that, use that and just put in Anna and Josh Chisholm in the tier operator box. So the thing that I will basically never veer from using, creatine monohydrate. Redcon just released a basic training line that contains monohydrate, or contains creatine monohydrate. It is the most studied and most effective of the creatines. Any of the other ones that claim to be more, better absorbed or better received or whatever, it's not relevant. It's not necessarily, it's probably not, proven, if you will. You don't really prove anything with science, but it hasn't necessarily been studied well enough to suggest that it's significant. And the monohydrate has been studied and shown to be very beneficial as far as muscle hypertrophy. So always going to be using the creatine, probably intra-workout, with my EAAs. I use the Grunt from Redcon 1. They have a million flavors and they're all delicious. If you haven't checked out the Vice City line, which is what the shirt's from, I highly recommend it. It's very good. It's like a tropical flavor, sort of coconut based, but it's not super strong with the coconut. It's hard to explain, but it's very good. I like to use a pre-workout most of the time. I'll use Big Noise, which I actually don't have any of with me at the moment. It's in my desk at work because I've been taking it before I go to the gym. And then Anna's got the other one that we have. So Big Noise, it's a pump formula. They actually redid it recently. I'll take it about 45 minutes before I train because those ingredients do take a little bit longer to absorb and start to work. I'll also be taking Total War most days to train. It is a pre-workout, fairly high stim as far as pre-workouts are concerned. It's 350 on the caffeine. And there is, I believe it's 3.2 grams of beta-alanine as well. So if you like that tingle, that one's for you. So those are the essentials. I will be taking protein around the workout. This isotope is a whey isolate that I usually use post-workout. And if I have like an early workout in the morning, or if I need some protein in pre-workout for whatever reason, I'll do whey isolate because it does digest very well. And it's very easy on the stomach, unless you have some type of a dairy issue, because it is dairy-based. MRE Light, I'll use it as a snack or a nighttime protein. Several different ways that I'll make that, whether it's freezing it with some egg whites or freezing it with some cashew milk or something like that, or if I make a protein pancake, or if I just drink it. So the MRE Light I'll use, in different situations like that. I'll be taking in ideally about 2 gallons of water a day, somewhere between 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons. I need to actually get much better on that. And as far as other supplements, I'm not going to go into that in this video. If anybody has any questions, reach out to me on that. I don't mind discussing some of that. Obviously, I'm not a natural athlete, so if anybody has any specific questions on that, feel free to reach out, and I'll answer as much as I can on that. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm hoping to put on tons of muscle, within the next 45 weeks, and at the end of that, be really, really lean. So I'm looking forward to pushing it in the gym, getting back to feeling good with my training. Haven't had a really good workout in a long time because of prep and because of just everything I had to do to get the body fat off. So very, very excited. Looking forward to pushing it. Looking forward to relaxing a little bit, as far as food and what I'm doing, with my time. It is football season. That's one of my favorite things. So looking forward to a lot of that, a lot of relaxing, in addition to the hard training, and just feeling good and putting on some muscle. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to comment or reach out to me on Instagram. It's team_chiseled, CHISELED. Or if you want to email me at joshchisholmfitness@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out, however. And if you stayed through this whole video, I appreciate it. I know it got a little monotonous, but just wanted to kind of give anybody who's following an update. So appreciate you guys. Buy some stuff from Redcon and train hard.